Good evening, everyone. I'm Diana Wright. Welcome to the program, The Diana Wright Show Online. We're live. This is our first 8 o'clock p.m. To join you. So we welcome you and we hope you're out there on your computers, on the website, dianawrighttv.webs.com, and hope you're joining us and hope you're going to join the conversation by giving us a call at 561-228-1921. Welcome once again, and just want to remind you about a few things that we are trying to do on this show and trying to make happen. We are trying to do what's called the I Love Me Crusade, and that is to encourage and ask each and every one of you to love yourselves, to teach your children to love themselves, no matter what color they are, what color eyes they have, how much hair they have, the color of their skin, doesn't matter. They need to love themselves. So I am encouraging you to, every single day when you wake up, apart from giving thanks to God, you say, I love me. And for the men, just say, love me, because I guess that sounds a little more masculine. In my web store, I do have the t-shirts that are there for you to purchase, and it simply says, for the women, I love me, and for men, it will be love me. And of course, we are encouraging you to get that and to feel good about yourself. Also, coming up in a short while, in a few months, is my book, Deadly Negligence, and that tells you what's happened and what has been going on in my life for the past almost 6 years now. So those are things that are coming on stream, and we hope that you will be a part of it. You can actually start pre-ordering your books. You can email me at dianawrighttv@gmail.com. So join the conversation, 561-228-1921, and let me hear your questions, your thoughts, what you would like us to cover on the show, whether it's step parents or relationships or men of the cloth or church or whatever the topic, politics, what's going on in the Caribbean, whichever way you pronounce that word. We invite you to do so. I just want to start off this evening, though, by just kind of asking this particular question. Does Americans truly in their heart believe that the government is going to come into their houses and take their guns? I'm kind of trying to figure out why people are so up in arms about, no pun intended, about the whole thing. Where would the government even have the resources to go to everyone's house to take their guns? That just doesn't make sense. So my plead and my pledge and my asking and my begging, please, folks, stop thinking that, because that's not going to happen. The government is not going to come into your house to take your guns. The only place Americans are really searched is when you go to the airport, which sometimes become a little ridiculous because, they're letting you take your shoes off and they're letting you do this and that. And, you have a jacket on with your bra and they want you to take the jacket off. and I keep saying, it's part of my clothes. I can't take it off. If I take it off, I'll be naked. And they're like, no. You need to take it off until a female comes to the rescue, So I'm just trying to figure out why so many Americans are so afraid and seem to think that the government is going to come and take their guns in their house. I just can't fathom that. So if you're thinking that, it's a false thought. And don't listen to Mr. Wayne LaPierre, who is the head of the NRA, because he's basically a hypocrite. Years ago, he said it was wonderful and good to do background checks on everyone that's purchasing guns, whether at gun shows or wherever. Now today, he's changed his tune. Why is he lying? And what changed between that year and this year that he doesn't think people need background checks? Is he protecting the members of the NRA? Is he protecting himself? Or does he just not like the president? Which one is it? What is your thought on that? I'd like to hear, because it simply amazes me in this day and age where people must realize that everything is being videotaped and archived. So whatever you say, make sure you remember what you said, because they're going to find the tape. So they found the tape, and of course it was aired not in every area that saw the Super Bowl, but in Washington. And lo and behold, he's there going, oh, everyone should get background checks, and he seemed so reasonable at that time. And then all of a sudden, boom, he's changed his tune. So does he hate President Obama, or is he just talking? And, you know, he was hoodwinked on Fox yesterday by Chris Wallace. Chris Wallace really played the role of a good journalist. When people come on and they're lying, you need to call them out. Call them out. And Chris Wallace, congratulations, you called him out. Okay? So, Mr. Lapierre, please stop lying to your members and do the right thing. Because what you're saying makes absolutely no sense. People with guns in their houses, I'm trying to figure out if they're there to protect themselves with these guns. When someone breaks in or someone tries to attack you, are you really going to go and find the gun unless you have it under your pillow? I don't see how you're going to find it. Because more than likely, you will have that gun in a locked place, safe from children. Not necessarily your own children, but your grandchildren or whomever may come to your house. So when someone comes to you to attack you, are you going to have time to go get that gun before that person gets you? Isn't it more likely that the gun that you have, someone in your family is going to use that gun to hurt someone else, some innocent person? I think those are questions we need to ask ourselves, and stop being hypocrites about the whole gun issue. Just look at Gabby Giffords. One crazy man with a gun just snuffed out someone who had a great future, a great life, a great husband, a great family. And she was just snuffed out and now disabled because of one crazy guy? Why did he have that gun? Where did he get the gun? And why was he allowed to have the gun in the first place? Why can't we do what Australia did or what Ireland did? We need to get our act together in this country, and there's just too much hate, too much racism, and too much undertones of people hating people, so they're going to just talk. Or they're going to just, let's just stop, take a breath, and be conscious, and be civil, and be considerate. I just wonder, a lot of people don't pay attention until the fire is burning their house down. And that's what we need to realize. Are we going to take notice only when the fire is in our house? Or are we going to have a heart and think of all the other people who are suffering? Just look at the gun violence. Look at all innocent people that are being killed. Mr. Lapierre, get conscious, come to your senses, and go back to the years when you were talking sense. Okay, so, alrighty. Just wanted to mention to you that you should absolutely get connected to yourself. Get connected to yourself and stay connected. Tune out the negative thoughts and the negative voices out of your head. Whomever that person is around you that's negative, make 2013 the year that you get rid of them. Okay? Get rid of the negative voices out of your life and think of only the positives, and make sure you're taking care of you, you're loving you, and you're talking good thoughts to yourself. Because the thought you put in your head about yourself is a thought that sticks. It can override anything that's negative in your head if you only try to love you. It might not happen in a minute or tomorrow, But if you work at it, I promise it will come. All right. Think big of yourself. Always think big of yourself, and always tell your children to think big of themselves. Get your children to be self-confident, have self-esteem, and think big. No dream, no aspiration, no thought is too big to achieve if you really want to achieve it. So that's what we need for you to try to do for your kids and do for yourself. Because, we can teach our kids to love themselves, but then we really don't love ourselves either. So they see that and they kind of pattern that, because children basically live what they learn. So the I Love Me Crusade is right here on the Diana Wright Show online. We're trying to promote that. And we're also reminding you that come April 30th, it will be declared and is being declared as of now, National I Love Me Day. So we want everyone to take a minute, love themselves, do something good for themselves on that day and henceforward. And encourage your friends and your children to do so too. What you think of yourself becomes your reality. If you think you're no good, then you're no good. If you think you're beautiful, you're beautiful. If you think you're ugly, then you're ugly. So whatever you think of yourself becomes your reality. So let's keep those things in mind as we progress through the show. On our health segment this evening, we're going to talk about weight loss, various ways you can lose weight and keep it off. What are you willing to give up to lose weight? Losing weight is a hard bargain. I'm serious. It's just a hard thing. Hard thing to do for a lot of people. Hard thing to keep off. Once you lose the weight, then you go back and you start eating the same foods you used to eat. So it becomes a yo-yo diet. So why don't we just make a commitment to change our lifestyle and the way we eat in general, right? So promise yourself you're either going to cut sugar out, or you're going to cut meat out if you want to become vegan, or you want to just deal with proteins, or you want to cut bread out, or you want to cut out dairy. Everybody has to make that decision for themselves. Exercise, of course, we know is very important. And we need to exercise. And I don't think people should go kill themselves to exercise an hour every day or 2 hours a day. If you exercise, if you can find 10 minutes in your day to exercise, I think that's good. 20 minutes, even better. Half an hour. But don't try to kill yourself one day and then the next day you can't walk. So you can't do anything the next day. So do it in intervals, and creep before you walk. Don't try to go out and run a marathon before you can actually run one lap. So we're just going to encourage you to do that and drink lots and lots and lots of water. So give one thing up. You don't have to give up everything at one time so you feel totally deprived. And as the experts recommend that if you eat 5 small meals a day, because remember now, we're not trying to fill ourselves up every time we eat. We're trying to satisfy our craving. And sometimes you feel for a piece of cake or something. You don't have to eat the whole slice of cake. If you eat 2 bites of the cake, it satisfies you and then you move away from that cake. But if you feel for a piece of cake and you don't have that cake, in your head, it will be going, I want cake until you get me that cake. So my suggestion is to satisfy your craving, but satisfy your craving in small amounts. Not the whole, as I heard Creflo Dollar saying the other day on television, that he was so indisciplined, he fell for cookies and he would eat the whole bag or the whole jar of cookies. So now he's trying to discipline himself by just eating 1 or 2 cookies and put the jar away. And they always say, don't hold the whole bag in front of you because you'll just keep dipping and eating. And before you notice, the whole bag of cookies are gone. And you're saying, what did I just do to myself? So take 2 cookies out the bag, close the bag, put it back in the closet, and then eat your 2 cookies. And I promise you, you won't go back for any more cookies or any more chips or whatever your weakness is, because we all have some weakness. My weakness is sweets. So I try my best to stay away from sweets. And if I try not to buy ice cream and those things and keep it in my house, because if I do, I know I'm going to eat it. So if I feel for ice cream, I go to the ice cream parlor and I buy ice cream, and then that satisfies my craving for ice cream, and it's over and done with. I might never feel for ice cream again for another couple of months. But when I feel for ice cream, I'm going to have ice cream. I don't care what is happening or what the diet people tell you that you shouldn't eat ice cream. I don't think you should deprive yourself of things. Deprivation, I think, creates other problems. So if you give yourself a little treat, you don't have to do it every day or every week or every month, but once in a while, if you feel for some ice cream or you feel for some cake or some cookies or whatever, but everything in moderation, right? So that's what we're aiming for. Everything in moderation. I want to go back, and I promised to talk about the 5 worst companies in America. So I'm going to just run through that, and then I want to go back to a conversation about young people and young power, the segment of my program that I'm really, really enthusiastic about, because I really want to be able to encourage young people, because they're the people of the future and of tomorrow. So we have to help them to be better people, love themselves, and choose the careers that are good for them. We don't want parents to be living vicariously through their children. So if you didn't become a doctor, now you want your child to become a doctor, or you didn't become a star, so you want your child to become a star. That's not how it works. So we're going to get back to that. But I just want to go through the 5 hated companies in America. That was what was trending, very popular online today. Citigroup is number 5. Now, I don't know if you have any beef against any of these companies. So if you do, I'd like to hear what you have to say about those companies. 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. That's number 5. That's Citigroup. Number 4. Wow, we all love Facebook. So what? We have a love-hate relationship with Facebook, or what? No, I think the problem with Facebook is that when they did their IPO and they went public, everyone believes that they cheated the public by, saying that the stock was one price to the public and then gave their friends another price, and then the stock went down from $35 to $20, and people just feel basically cheated. So I don't think it's the users of Facebook that are upset with Facebook that made it go to number 4. I just believe it was because of the whole debacle with the IPO. And then Mark Zuckerberg himself had, a reputation prior to when the twins sued him, that he actually stole their idea. So I think all of that. But I think a lot of people enjoy Facebook, like to be on Facebook. And we welcome you to go to our Facebook page and check us out on Facebook, because we're there. Once you go to the website, you just click on Facebook and you're right there. You click on Twitter and you're there, and you'll click on YouTube if you miss a show in the morning and you want to catch it in the afternoon or in the evening when you have time to watch. Then you just go and click and you're there with it. So, and at that juncture, I want to say thank you so much to Pastor Blackwood for helping me to get this organized, and also to Brother Coy, who is a genius, even though he's, very hard to find when you want to find him and you're panicking. So I would like him to be more available, but he's such a busy man. He has lots of people depending on him, so I understand. But, when you want to read someone, you just want to have them at your fingertips, and that's not always possible. And just inviting you that if you're in Marietta, Georgia, and you want to visit a great church, it's Alive Christian Center, and Pastor Blackwood and his wife, Queen Esther, are there. So you can check them out. Marietta, Georgia, if you're visiting and want to go to a church with great praise and worship. Praise and worship is fantastic. You can give them a shout and tell them, I sent you. Okay. All right. Number 3 is T-Mobile USA. They said T-Mobile USA, so I guess T-Mobile Europe is okay. So, but that's what was said about T-Mobile T-Mobile, and they're actually planning to acquire or buy Metro PCS. I know a lot of people have Metro PCS because they don't have contracts and all that kind of stuff, but T-Mobile is planning to buy them out, so you might want to watch for that in your quest for getting connected with your smartphone. Dish Network is number 2. Ha ha ha. Culture of condescension and distrust is what the employees say about Dish Network. Do you have Dish Network? Are you dissatisfied with them? Let us hear why. 561-228-1921. Join the conversation. And number 1, I was a little shocked about this. J.C. Penney is number 1 hated company in America. They're now calling themselves JCP. You know, everybody's initials these days, you know. JCP, I guess I'm DWS. DWSO, Diana Wright Show Online. So I guess that's what I am at right now. I'm gonna give you my abbreviations. DWSO. All right. So it's JCP now, and people are saying they moved from mediocre to great management disasters. Oh boy, people are so harsh these days. Anyway, reminding you also that it's Black History Month, and you're going to see a lot of stuff about successful African Americans who've done well and are, you know, things that you sometimes you see them and you go, oh, he was responsible for that? I didn't know that. So that's always a good thing to listen out for those who they celebrate during Black History Month and all the events that they do have for Black History Month. Okay, getting back to the young power topic that I'm going to throw out, and I hope there are some young people out there who wants to take it on, and they can give me a call. It's coming up now to 21 minutes after 8 o'clock. We started at 8, and we will go on till 9 o'clock, or if the phones are hot, then we will carry on. But anyway, young power, we're, you know, today we try to encourage young people to find their passion, seek out their passion, work at their passion, do what they need to do, put in their sweat equity to that passion to get it done. So now I'm going to talk to the parents a little bit. If your child is a great cook and wants to be a chef, please don't try to get that child to be a doctor or a lawyer or an Indian chief. Let them pursue their own passion. Give them the information. Tell them what the industry is about. Tell them whether it's difficult or not, because if my daughter chooses to be a broadcaster or trying to be an anchor or a correspondent for NBC or CBS or anything like that, I would discourage her because it is such a hard field to get into. But if she insists that's what she wants to do, I will do my best to help her to get there. So parents, we don't want you living vicariously through your children. We want you to encourage them in their own passion. It's not your life, it's their life. I've known of a young lady who went to medical school to please her parents. And when she finished, she went into practice and everything. And boom, she couldn't take it anymore. She had an anxiety attack, and then she wanted to be an artist. And that's what she's doing today. So she went to med school for her parents, wasted all that time, and then she decided to do what was her passion, had a breakdown and everything, the whole 9 yards, because she just didn't want or like what she was doing. If you love what you do, then anything you love to do and you will do it even if you're not getting paid, that's your passion. I think so anyway. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think so. And also, if your child would like to be a designer, clothing designer, don't deter them from it. Look, do they have the talent? In your opinion, just look at what they do, what they're drawing, what they're, how they are with clothing, their style. Every young person has a style and should try to find their own style. They shouldn't, copy their parents or whatever. Yeah, the parents are examples, but they should find their own identity and their own style. So we're going to encourage parents to encourage your children to do just that. If they're good with their hands, say they want to be a carpenter. Do you know that Maxi Priest is a good carpenter and was a carpenter before he became the great Maxi Priest with the sweet, mellow voice? Yeah, that's what he did. And he is an excellent carpenter. But he did that and pursued his dream of becoming a singer. And he was successful at being a singer. Yet he is still a great carpenter. Just in case the music thing didn't work out. He had something to go back to. And he's good at both things because I think he's just a great, 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 great voice. I love his voice. And I love to listen to his music. So that's just an example of things that you should try to stay away from with your kids. Don't try to get them to fulfill the dream that you did not get a chance to fulfill, or your time was not ready for it. Let them have their own dream. Let them pursue their own dream. Let them find their own passion. And parents, do not live vicariously through your children. If your child does not want to be a model, do not force them to become a model. Let that be something they are asking you to take them to, auditions or whatever. Don't force it on them. Maybe later on they'll want it. And in some cases, like Serena and Venus Williams, their dad, he kept trying with all his girls until he finally got two of them to excel in the sport of tennis. But do they really love the sport? It seems to me that Venus really wants to be a designer, which is what she's doing right now. And her sister probably wants to do something else. Right? She seems like she liked to design clothes. Her sister liked to design interior design. So when we push our children into things, yes, it might make them successful and they will become rich and famous, but are they happy? Are they loving what they're doing? Agassi was the same thing. He said he played the sport, but he hated it because his father forced him to play tennis. And he was good at it, but that's not really what he wanted to do. Made him wealthy, made him famous, but he was not happy. So we're looking for happy young people, passionate young people who are willing to put the work in to pursue their passion. So we hope that young person in your life, whether it's your daughter, your son, your niece, your nephew, your cousin, whomever it is, give them encouraging words, encourage them, lift them up. Take them out of their blue and bring them into the green. And let them pursue their passion. All right, looking at something that I thought was a little disturbing earlier, and I am trying to figure out what it is and what's going on in that family. I'm talking about the Houston family. Whitney Houston, as we all know, died, and her mom, Cissy Houston, just penned a book remembering Whitney. And it seems like there's a great rift going on in that family. And I pray and would ask that God would heal them. Because I watched the interview with Cissy Houston, Oprah did, I think it was last week. And basically, the grandmother is saying that Bobbi Kristina does not want to be around her because as a grandmother, obviously she's going to try to steer her in the right direction and give her proper advice because, you know, older people are normally wiser than we are. Okay? So, Bobbi Kristina is now urging her fans not to buy her grandmother's book. And I thought to myself, that is just horrible. Why would you want to do that? It is her daughter that died. Yes, she's your mother, but she was her daughter first. And if she didn't have that daughter to bring to this earth, you would not have had her as your mother. So out of just sheer respect, I just think that is a horrible, horrible, horrible thing to do to your grandmother. I'm sure your grandmother loves you because I saw it in her eyes when she was on Oprah. So why would you be trying to urge your fans not to purchase your grandmother's book? That is just mean-spirited. Why would you want to do that? Because she's trying to guide you? The grandmother says she doesn't call her, and when she calls her, she can't get her on the phone and all that. I am sure that would not be making your mother very happy. So, Bobbi Kristina, we send our prayers out to you and your family. I'm sure you wouldn't like your grandmother to go around and tell everyone don't watch the reality show that you're doing on television. I'm sure you wouldn't like that. How would you feel if your grandmother should get on a megaphone? And she will get interviews from anybody. I'm sure if she calls any one of those organizations, those news organizations, they'll talk to her. Because she was the mother and is the mother of your mother, Whitney Houston. So how would you feel if your grandmother gets the megaphone, and when I say megaphone, I mean all the networks, and says, I urge you not to watch my granddaughter's reality show? How would you feel about that? We should always consider the other person's feelings when we're about to try to do something evil. And that is just simply evil. Why shouldn't she write the book? It's her daughter. She has the right to write and remember and give her memories of her daughter. So I urge you or anyone that's listening that knows Bobbi Kristina, if you're close to her, please give her some good advice. Tell her to not try to fight her grandmother. Because some people are saying, oh, you know, people are profiting off of Whitney's death. Well, if the grandmother is profiting by writing a book, you are profiting by doing a reality show. So what's the difference? And that's how people operate. That's how we operate. We simply want to kill someone else when we're doing the exact same thing. So Bobbi Kristina, be respectful to your grandmother, who your mother obviously loved dearly. So we ask that you please don't go down this road of hate and just horrible behavior. It's not becoming. And I'm sure your mom would not be happy about what you're doing right now. So that's my 2 cents on that particular issue. Alrighty, moving right along and covering some more of the news, what's happening in the news. Something very disturbing happened with a couple and their 22-year-old son who decided to go on an airline and go in the bathroom and smoke. What's wrong with us? Are you so desperate for a cigarette that you can't wait to get to your destination to smoke? And so you're going to endanger all those 170 other passengers on a plane because you just can't wait to smoke? The plane had to be diverted to Bermuda. Yes, they got arrested. But what an inconvenience for the passengers on the plane. Again, people are just selfish and thinking about what they want, and they really don't care about anybody else. Now, I think not smoking on airplanes has been going on for years now. So is there someone on the planet who didn't know that you're not supposed to smoke on a plane anymore? And worst of all, they were smoking in the lavatory. Danger, danger, danger. You're going to endanger 170 passengers' lives for one cigarette. Shame, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame, 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 shame. Shame on you. Okay, looking at the bright side now. If you're going to be buying a vehicle this year, maybe you are in the market for buying a car. Well, they are warning you about tricks of the trade. So the dealers, when you go to the dealers and they are just hustling. They're hustling. They're giving you the pressure. They're trying to, make you make that deal. And they're telling you the deal is so wonderful. And you're feeling so stressed out and so pressured. If you feel pressured when you're buying a car, take a breath. Tell the salesperson that you will be back tomorrow. And don't let them try to get you into some payments that you're not even agreeing with. All right? And let them tell you the price of the car. The price of the car is what you want, not the payments. How much is the car? Okay? I remember going to look at a car a year and a half ago, and this guy was just, oh, I can give it to you for this, and I can give it to you for that. And, he just kept going back to his boss and coming back with the numbers and whatever. And it was not the price I wanted to pay for the car. So I let him do all his running up and down and going around. And then I said, I'm not going to buy the car today. So you got to stand your ground when you go to buy a car. So stay away from the payment pressure. You want them to tell you the price of the car, not the payments. That's not what you went there for. And don't let them pressure you into taking their finance. If you can get pre-approved when like by your credit union or your bank or whatever, go there with your pre-approval. Don't let them try to get you into their financing. And sometimes you see them advertise a car and you say, wow, that sounds like a great deal. But when you go to the dealership, they don't have that because it's finished. That ad is over. That's a trick. Definite trick of the trade. You want to move fast from that dealership. And of course, as I spoke about before, the high pressuring, if you are not ready to buy that car, do not sign on the dotted line. And they're going to try to sell you everything, extended warranty, this and that, and all kind of extras on the car. Only buy what you want on that car and what you can afford to buy on that car. Because don't forget, each item they add on is adding on to your pocket. So you got to stand your ground, and especially women, when you're going to buy a car, do not go by yourself unless you are very assertive, because they see women coming and they figure, okay, here's an easy target. I wasn't one though, even though my husband was with me, but no, the guy just realized that I was a hard nut to crack. So I think he gave up after a while. And they are now suggesting the 12 safest cars if you're buying cars. I'm not into cars anymore. I really am addicted to an SUV. Sorry. They're saying that you should drive cars and conserve gasoline. I think you should drive the car of your choice and choose to buy the gasoline. Okay? Because you spend so much time in your car. So why shouldn't you buy the car that you like instead of thinking about how much gas it's going to save you? Right? Buy the car that you like and that you can afford. I think that's what you should do. Don't listen to people telling you, about saving gas and all that kind of stuff. You're in the car. It needs to be a comfortable car, the best car you can afford. All right? So the 12 safest cars are as follows. Volvo S60. Yeah? I'm holding that up. Acura TL. Ford Fusion. Chrysler 200. That's a 4-door. They specify the 4-door. So if you buy the 2-door, maybe it's not so safe. So the Chrysler 200 4-door. The Dodge Avenger. They have so many different cars now. I get totally confused. And some of them all look alike. You have to really look for the name or the emblem to recognize that it's a different car. Honda Accord, the coupe and the sedan. Well, Honda's, oh my goodness, Honda Accord just seems to be a car that keeps on going. What a great car. I had one once and it just wouldn't die. It just would not die. So a Honda is a great car, seriously. And then there's a Kia Optima and the Nissan Altima. Again, they specify 4-door. So remember now, these are the 12 safest cars that they tested, and they got high marks. And then you have Subaru making 2. Wow. Subaru Legacy and Subaru Outback. So the Subaru, wow, 2 cars they have in there that's safe. One to me looked more like a small SUV or something, or a station wagon or something. I wasn't sure because I really don't know the car. Volkswagen Passat. And finally, Suzuki Kizashi. Okay. Wow. So many cars, so many choices. Which one are you going to choose if you're going to purchase a car this year? Well, those are the safest ones for 2013 based on all the safety checks. So I did not see one for SUVs, and if I find it, I will be certain to give it to you and share it with you, because I think it's important. If you're buying a car, you should know that it's going to be safe, or as safe as it can be. You know, some crazy person driving the wrong side of the road or something. You never know, but all good things considered. Remember, we try to think of the good things on this show. We don't try to go down the road of hate and malice. So with all things considered, those are the things you need to keep in mind if you're purchasing a car this year and you like cars as opposed to SUVs. I'm sure they're going to put one out for SUVs, so as soon as they put it out, I will make sure that I share it with you. And that is basically what it is. I will make sure I share that with you. So, what is on your mind today? What else is on your mind? I also reminded folks of some things that I found out and things that I did not know and things that I thought were quite interesting, like Nigeria has the most cases of sickle cell in the world. Not just in Nigeria, in the world. Okay? And there's a great female OBGYN gynecologist that's out there trying to help women who are pregnant, who are sicklers, to carry those babies to term. And don't forget, if you have the trait of sickle cell, make sure if you're going to get married and you want to have children, you make sure your partner does not have the trait, because if both of you have that trait, you will certainly be bringing a child in here with sickle cell. So make sure you find that out. You know, sometimes those things are embarrassing because people figure, why do I need to know that? Or why do I need to ask that? But it's important. It's very, very important, because you really don't want to have a child with sickle cell, because it's lots and lots of time spending in the hospital and lots of pain and anguish, lots of tears. If you can, you know, kind of spare yourself from that, then I would advise you to do so. So do me a favor. If you have the trait and you know that you have the trait, as a matter of fact, I think anyone who's getting married should kind of test for things like that. And test for STDs too. Yeah, you need to know. Like AIDS and those things, you really truly need to know. But if your partner has a trait and you have the trait, then it's almost certain that you're going to have a child with sickle cell. So spare yourself the agony and the pain of all of that. Just double check. If you don't want to have any children, then that's a different story. You can marry anyone you want to marry. But if you have the trait and your partner has a trait, then you probably need to find another partner if you really want to have children. That would be the recommendation, not just of me, I'm sure of just about any doctor that would tell you that. So we are just, asking you to keep that in mind. All right. So reminding you that come April 30th, it will be National I Love Me Day. And we are declaring it and decreeing it right here on the Diana Wright Show, live online. And we would like for you to keep that in mind. Spread the word. Join us on Facebook, Twitter, and send us an email about your thoughts and some of the topics that you'd like us to cover here. We're new. We just started last week. So we're hoping that you will tell your friends and you will call your friends up when you join us at 8 o'clock every evening and 10:30 every morning. Whichever one is more convenient for you, you can join. And if you miss a show, you can just go up on YouTube and we will upload that show for you, or you can go on the website and you will see the show also. So we promise that we will try to please and try to help you to love yourself. And I just want to remind you of a few things here, just to stop postponing your joy. And don't allow anyone to steal your joy on a daily basis. If you're going to work and there's a crazy person in front of you driving crazy, take a breath and just ask God to give you the patience, and don't allow that person to steal your joy. If you go to work and you have evil people at your work and you have some Jezebels at your work, do not allow them to steal your joy. If you're having conflicts with other people, just center yourself and do not allow anyone to steal your joy, because you should be allowed simple joy and happiness. That's what life is all about. Loving yourself, being joyful, being confident, having self-esteem, and when you enter a room, you own that room. If you want a raise from your boss, ask for it. If you don't ask, you might never receive. And if you ask, and ask in the proper way, you'll be surprised. Make suggestions to your company. If you're working somewhere and you're not happy with that particular job, do that job to the best of your ability until you find the job that you really want. Or, as I say, until you pursue your passion, and you start pursuing your passion with everything you've got until you get there. And it will not be an easy road, I promise you that. Nothing is easy. I want to take a little time out now to find out from, the time is almost coming down to 9 o'clock. Well, I don't know. I guess everyone is shy and does not want to call, but I know you're out there. I know you're listening. And I know that you will write the number down, or you will email me 561-228-1921. That's a phone number to join the conversation live. And of course, you can Gmail me at dianawrighttv@gmail.com. Join us on Twitter, Facebook, and send us an email. Let us know what you're thinking. I wanted to take a moment to find out if there's anyone out there that's listening that knows how to transfer 3/4 U-matic tapes or beta U-matic tapes. Because you see, I have quite a bit of my shows, my Diana Wright shows that I did in Jamaica and some in St. Kitts and St. Thomas. And they're on both beta U-matic and 3/4 U-matic. And it's so difficult to find someone to copy those shows onto digital. And I have a few people calling me to get copies of those shows. But unless I get them copied to digital, I can't really sell them, because they're on television quality tapes right now. Because remember, first television was on 3/4 U-matic, then they went to beta U-matic, and now they're sophisticated, so they're on digital. And it took quite a while for the whole America to go digital. And I know that some of the Caribbean countries are still trying to go digital. They're not fully digital yet. So I don't know if there's anyone out there who has a contact at a TV station or knows someone who can do this for me. I would certainly appreciate it. Please give me a call at 561-228-1921, and I will be happy to hear from you to let me know if there's someone that would be able to do that for me. I would really, really, really appreciate it. Also, someone is trying to steal the thunder and the joy and excitement of Ray Lewis someone is trying to remind us that he was involved in some years ago. There was a scuffle and he went to court and all that because 2 people were killed and they were thinking that he had something to do with it. He got off, but there's still some people who, just don't believe him. And I have to take a break and get my water. Yes, I had to get my water. So, because this flu, I think it's just the worst flu that ever hit. I'm over it, but it gives you this very dry cough after it's finished. And it just seems like it lasts forever. So I'm excusing myself by drinking water. And you need to drink a lot of water yourself, right? So take a cue from me and go get yourself a bottle of water and drink it. And just reminding you of a couple of things that we're gonna try to feature a young person every month. Just find me a young person that's doing well, doing great, because a lot of us are downers on young people, and some of them are really trying to do good and trying to pursue their passion and trying to go to school and trying to better themselves. So let's give them a break, and we'll feature them on the program. They can you can call me or email me and let me know about that young person, and I will speak to them and bring them on the show and feature them, and let them talk about their aspirations and what they're looking for and where their journey, where they want their journey to take them in life, because life is indeed a journey. Yeah. So I would I'm really going to ask you to search out all the young people that you know and just give me a call, and I will feature that young person. Let me know what they do and what they're planning to do and why you've chosen them, and then we will work with that young person. Also, I just want to remind you, I think I need to find my copy on that. I want to remind you of Novelet Gales Foundation, and it's called Save a Life Jamaica Foundation. And actually, if you go online, you can find out more about it. The website is saljf.com. That's S as in Sam, A as in Apple, L as in Love, J as in Jamaica, and F as in Foundation.com. So saljf.com. You can check that out, and you can email her at saljf@ymail.com. And if you'd like to give her a call to make a contribution to the foundation, you can call her at 561-379-8969. That's 561-379-8969. That's Save a Life Jamaica Foundation. And I'll just tell you quickly what the foundation does, because I'm also a board member. The foundation basically helps people with money to pay for their help with their medical bills, or if they have to go and get a test done and they can't afford the money, because I think Sister Novelet had a personal experience with someone who just did not have the money to actually get a test done, and the person died because of that. So she decided to form this foundation. So I'm just encouraging you, if you can, to don't go to the website and make a donation, because it is something good. And right now, like someone needs a pair of glasses and they can't afford to pay all the money, then they will contact us and we will try to help them to get the glasses, and whatever it is, just trying to help. Also, wheelchairs, we'll provide wheelchairs for people and certain medical supplies. So if you can make a donation, or you can contribute other things, then we'll be happy to hear from you. So that's Save a Life Jamaica Foundation, and the number 561-379-8969. I hope I'm not going too fast, because everybody says, Diana, you say the number too fast. It's 561-379-8961. Save a Life Jamaica Foundation. And I know they're planning quite a few fundraisers, and I will keep you abreast of them because I think it's something wonderful for us to be able to help. And it's not just Jamaica, any island, even here, if you need help. That's just the name she chose to give her foundation, but she will be willing to help anyone that we can indeed help. So let us know. You might be here and you need a wheelchair. So the wheelchair is here. So it's easy to get it to you. All right? So don't be bashful now. Give us a call. If you're in need and you don't ask for help, no one is going to help you. So you need to ask for what you want, so you'll get what you need. 2 answers. Remember, I'm an advocate for that. When you want something, you ask. You can only get 2 answers: yes or no. I don't like maybes. Okay, I'm not a maybe kind of person. Just give me the straight stuff: yes or no, and just let me decide. If it's yes, I'm happy. If it's no, I'll try to figure out why you said no. So, alrighty, we're coming up on, whoa, my goodness, time has flown away with us, but I'm still having a few minutes. And if you want to call just before we get off the air, you can do so. 561-228-1921. You're live online with the Diana Wright Show. And like I said, if you miss the show, you can just go online and you will see the show. This show will take us a while to put up, maybe not this evening, but tomorrow. So if you missed it, then you'll be able to see it another time on YouTube or on my website. So we thank you so much for joining us this evening. And if you're out there, spread the word, tell your friends on Facebook, and join me and give us your questions, give us your comments, send us your ideas for the show, tell us what you'd like us to talk about. I know lots of folks want to talk about those reality shows, so we're going to get to that. A lot of people want to talk about Jamaica, what's going on in Trinidad, what's going on in Barbados and St. Martin and other countries. If that's what's on your mind, just let us know. Call us and let us know. We have a segment called Culture Shock, and that's a segment that we just talk about things that happen in various countries and different cultures, because you do know that a lot of people believe that Spanish people are all the same. They're not. Spanish people from Puerto Rico are different from Spanish people who are from Cuba, Central America, South America. Their cultures are so different. So different. Right? They might be similar in some things, obviously the language, and even some of them, the language doesn't sound the same, depending on where they're from. If you're from Spain and you're from Cuba, your Spanish sounds different, especially to someone like me who don't speak Spanish. So we're gonna talk about that. So if you would like to contribute to that segment, then we'd appreciate it. And also the Young Power Person of the Month. We would like to feature that young person who is doing well, being successful, obeying their parents, doing the right thing, on the right track. We want to celebrate that young person. So if you know someone, please let me know. Don't be bashful about it. And if there are health issues that you want to talk about, we have a segment for that too. And we're also going to try to talk a little bit about business and just your lifestyle and trying to get you to start saving $1 a day. Remember, that's how I started out last week. And I haven't forgotten to remind you that if you can save $1 per day, you'd be surprised. Instead of buying a dollar meal, just save that dollar. Hide it under your mattress or hide it somewhere where you know you're not going to get to it because it's in an inconvenient place. And every day you just go and put another dollar. Get a bottle, put it in there that you can't just shake it out the bottle. Make sure it's paper money. So you can't just go in the bottle easily. Make sure the bottle, covers that you can actually take the money out when you have enough. But at the end of the year, you'll be surprised how much money you've saved. And if you can save more than $1, by all means, put it in. All right. So that's my encouragement to you tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. If you love something, set it free. If it comes back, it's yours. If it doesn't, it was never yours. Don't forget to love yourself. Look in the mirror. Say, I love me. Men, say, love me. And parents, teach your children to love themselves. This is Diana Wright, and have yourself a great evening, and see you tomorrow morning at 10:30 right here, live on the Diana Wright Show online.